any other country. Why does that happen? It's because we don't kill people. That's not true. We put people to death all the time. Texas put 6 people to death in the last 6 months. And how many of them maybe have been innocent? We don't know. The Innocence Project has pulled out, I think it was 43 people, that they found innocent. Those people had, if you totaled up the years that they had spent in jail, it was over 200 years. And these people were innocent. What is the system saying to us?
What we can do about it was recently done with Proposition 36, the 3-strike law. The vote opposed it and caused it to crash. We started in 1980 with Richard Nixon and the war on crime. There they got the 3 strikes law. Strike 1, violent. Strike 2, violent. Now if you get one more, it can be nonviolent. It can be for just taking a backpack, or it can be taken for being caught smoking weed. Then you go to jail for life. Nothing could be worse than that. That was just cruising for a bruising, because now the jails get overcrowded. The Supreme Court has ruled that the prisons are overcrowded and have health conditions because of that overcrowding, and they are listed as inhumane treatment. Thus, that defies the Constitution. I think it's the 10th Amendment, inhumane treatment and so forth. So states will have to release a certain percentage of non-violent criminals so that the crowding can be dissuaded. That, of course, is a blessing. So when we look at what can be done about it, we can first of all have a decision that it is unjust. These are non-violent persons going to prisons. But the prisons in the last 2 decades went from being prisons for rehabilitation to criminal punishment. And when you start punishment, then you get the power over the powerless. And as Lord Acton says, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's no longer rehabilitation, but maltreatment or punishment. We have to move now from punishment to finding a way to rehabilitate. And that will take a totality of job training, mental health, job placement, mentoring, substance abuse counseling, and the community at large finding ways to support those who are trying to re-enter, because now you are let out of jail. You are not allowed to have housing. You are not allowed to have Medicaid. You are not allowed to have other forms of health care. In some states, you're not allowed to vote. And so the not allowed leaves you completely helpless. And so recidivism kicks up. The present rate of recidivism is that 1 out of 3 prisoners released from prison returns to prison within 3 years. And among our young lads, and increasingly among our females under age 18 to 36, 1 out of 3 is in prison, probation, or parole. That's tomorrow. Those are our young adults going into the 21st century. So we have to remove the stigma of non-violent entry into prisons and let the prisons serve primarily with violent crimes. Then we must stop the violence on criminals in prisons. Then we must find a way to re-enter them into society with a holistic approach.
As a mom, I'm gonna push you harder and harder to become what you want to be, and whatever dreams you pursue, I'm gonna be right next to you, and I'm gonna help you as much as I can.
I would tell him that if he ever has a problem, to tell me that I'm always gonna be there for him, like no matter what, and I'm always tell him like the right thing to do. So
graduate high school, go to college. You can't stop. You gotta go to college. Get a really, really good job and take care of yourself. Then you can take care of others. Choose your friends wisely.
Stay away from bad people. Just to be confident and do whatever he wants. And I mean, good things that he wants. And to not let people bring him down, and just to follow his dreams, not be like everybody else, and be a leader.
Make smart choices and think before you do things. I just want her to really finish school, because like go to college, because then that's the only way you'll be able to have a life and do something. You won't be able to do anything or be anything without a diploma or a career. So, to be successful in life.
I love you, and just to be a good boy and to not do nothing bad and do everything good, go to school and don't let people bring you down, and just to know that I love you a lot, and I always loved you, and things happen the way that I didn't want them to happen, but just, you're always gonna be in my heart, and I'm always gonna love you, even though if I don't get you back on January, just know that I love you a lot, and you're always gonna be in my heart.
Dear precious daughter, there are those who are males in your life who can be crucial to you. If daddy is missing, then there is granddad. If granddad is missing, there is uncle. If uncle is missing, in your church there is a man who would be as a father figure to you, not abuse you sexually, mentally, emotionally, not take advantage of you. That male's presence is crucial to you. And if you have a female, you don't want to be in competition with her, your mother, your aunt, your grandmother, your great-grandmother. You don't want to prove something that doesn't need proving, that you are in charge. For a large part of you is responsible to you, but the greater part is what surrounds you in your formative years. That teacher, that preacher, that neighbor, that person who respects you, So we ask, if you have a significant male figure, if you have a significant female figure, if you have someone who really you appreciate and who appreciates you, cultivate that person and cultivate that culture, and you will look back within 10 years, 12 years and say, thank you, Lord. I had enough sense to get somebody with sense instead of somebody with nonsense.
Find someone who loves you. Not someone you think loves you. Find someone who demonstrates that she or he actually loves you. And learn to love yourself. So many times we spend all of our energy focusing on pleasing someone else. And we really need to think about what it is that is going to take us to the next level. Stay in school, stay focused, don't get distracted by the drama. It's easy to get distracted by drama. But you need to be the center of you. And I don't mean that selfishly. I mean that to say you cannot help a single soul do anything unless you are well. So prioritize your own wellness.
This is a challenging time for you. And I think that it's time to reflect on how you can get in touch with your special side. The part of you that you know is kind, good, optimistic, fun, and loving towards others. That you have to learn to do one basic thing. You have to create your own palace in your mind. The circumstances outside your mind can be very difficult, but you yourself need to have this sense that you're wonderful, you're good, you're positive. You won't allow anything to creep into your nature of being who you are. That you have this idea that life is worth living and that you are special and divine, that God wanted you to be here. And sometimes it takes a little while for the real important forms of love to catch up with you, but it's going to catch up with you. But the most important thing in addition to that is to not be self-destructive. Don't turn inward and look negative at things and then start hating your life and hating yourself. That is not what I think would be helpful to you or any aspect of who we are in this criminal justice system. You matter. You matter to somebody like me. You know, you may not know who I am, but I know this, that you have the ability to be everything you choose to be.
Don't try to figure it out by yourself. When people are tortured, I once heard about a program in Denmark for people who've been tortured. Many of our young people have been tortured in their lives. It may not be tortured the way you see it in the movies, but their lives have been torturous ones. If you don't speak about the way you've been tortured to someone else, it never fixes in your mind. You have to fix it in your mind. This is what happened to me. This is how I feel about it. And then somebody can say, okay, this is what we're going to do to try to help you fix that.
All you have to do is reach out to someone and tell them what you need. And keep asking and asking and asking, and sooner or later, there's going to be someone there to say, yes, I understand what you're going through. I understand what you need. I'm willing to help you. And that's all you have to do. I went from being a 14-year-old runaway to a college graduate to get my master's degree. And I failed to ask people to help me. It wasn't until I joined the sorority that I found out that there were people out there that liked me and they cared for me. And from that time on, I learned to help others and have others help me. Young ladies, put your hand out there, grab hold of somebody, and hold on tight. And tell them what you need. They'll help you.
You are a person of enormous value with your whole life ahead of you. You have a new life that's with you. All the support that you need should be right there for you. The support should help you be healthy as a woman and help you and your baby together, because for the first 3 years of your baby's life, that baby's future is really in your hands. I'm sorry. I'm feeling that as a mom. So that would be the wisdom that I would pass on, to listen to others, to take care of your body, and really recognize, it's kind of hard when you're really young to recognize that there aren't endless moments. And with a young baby, those first few months and years are a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And we really need to develop an understanding in this country that that's where all of our resources and all of our problems can be addressed, is right in that early stage. So when I see a young incarcerated woman and realize that she's not getting the help that she needs, all of the help that she needs, it is quite literally heartbreaking to me. So I'm a researcher, I'm a policy maker, but I'm also a mother.
My skin is black, my hair is fine, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again and again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow, my hair is long, between two worlds I do belong. My father was rich and white, he forced my mother late one night. What do they call